Bardolph.
Piala, how you doing?
Good to see you. Or not. Where have you been? I've been looking for you.
How are you?
Yeah, not great, because I've been looking for you for about 2-3 months.
Oh, you know, I've been busy.
Remember at ECS, last ECS here?
I'm all over the place, Piala.
Signed the contract, me and you.
I've got a better contract for you.
And then at the minors, I got stuck in a never-ending loop of reproducing my own body. It's painful.
I've got really good news for you, actually. I have found
Me
you.
and you?
I found you the perfect partner. It's not
James.
me, but it's a lovely girl, and I think that you're going to play off each other very well. I think it's going to complement your personalities. I think this is a perfect match. You and this girl, you're going to make it together. You're going to be one symbiotic organism.
Okay.
It's going to be fantastic.
That sounds complex. It's like complexity.
It's going to be really good.
What's up with the asthma pump? Am I leaving you breathless?
It's the cold air, you know.
Okay,
fantastic.
well, I'll trust you for now, and then
Yeah.
hopefully we can link up on this soon.
I'll be in touch very soon.
So are you going this way?
The waist, okay. Yeah, I'm going that way. Okay.
Okay.
Very, very close, thank you.
Yes.
See you soon.
It's about time, really. Oh, really excited to meet you. Parlour, by the way. Can we get a headset for the chicken, guys? Yeah. I've not casted with the chicken before, or really done much casting in general, so this should be good. Should be fun. Henry usually has the laptop open, right? It makes you look more important, or like studious, maybe. Yeah. Do you want to take some notes? Can you type with 3 fingers? I don't know. But I'm looking forward to this. Gets me close to James.
Only the strong survive. Your chains will not hold me down. The break and fall to the ground. Can't tame these lions inside. The power is raining like thunder ready for a fight. Can't tame these lions inside. It's ground that they're walking, ain't cutting through their skin. They're hunting down their prey through the bitter end. It's ground that they're walking, ain't cutting through their skin. They're hunting down their prey, let the games begin.
In the beginning, there were the heavens. Then came earth, and with earth came man. And with man came wars. These wars have been waging for centuries, but none quite like the epic battles you'll be witnessing tonight.
He's going to be up to the mice all the way in the back here with he gets a quick flick and claim. Takes 3 kills in a row. Shut up, and then 3!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the semifinals of the London Major.
We started with 24 teams, and now just 4 remain. And for your entertainment, Wembley, they will duke it out. Let me hear you, Wembley! This is the major. This is Counter-Strike. We love to play it, but sure as hell we love to watch it. And 4 of the world's best are going to be doing it right here, right now, semi-finals, and I'm so energized by what's been going on. The games haven't even started, and these guys have not shut up. You guys are amazing. The chills flowing through my body right now. This is an adrenaline rush, and I'm sure it is for you guys watching at home just to hear this pack animal that is the Wembley Stadium right now. I'm joined by 2 beautiful human beings, of course, players in their own right now, going to be providing you the insight. They call me Machine, they call him Sponge, and Threat on the end as well. Chad, you ready for this?
Yeah, we finally reached the business end of the tournament, right? It's been a very long journey to get to this point. Smooya didn't make it, unfortunately. But look, we're going to get some good Counter-Strike today, and I'm very excited to get this one started.
Yeah, semi-finals. I mean, Threat, it's been said time and time again, it bears repeating. this is the dream semi-final setup.
Yeah, you can argue that these are the 4 best teams in the world. We're starting off with MiBR, NaVi. This could be the grand final of any other tournament.
Yeah, now I've said that Wembley aren't shutting up. If you don't want to stop talking, you can do so over at social media. Hashtag FACEITMajor to join the conversation. Let us know where you're watching from. And look at all those flags. We really have got a global audience watching both at home and here in London. Now, we have got legends taking to the stage, and actually we'll start this conversation by focusing on legends both here and of past from Counter-Strike. It is your top 8 major players historically. There are some big names both here and not present.
Yeah, we lost Nico yesterday. Obviously, Flusher and Co didn't make it this far. We do get Cold Zero, we have Simple, we have Device. Flamey as well, having a fantastic tournament. So at least 4 of those big names are going to be out here today to duke it out.
Yeah.
Nico, of course, actually looks like he's lost 1 spot, if I'm not mistaken, after FaZe's fantastic game versus Astralis yesterday.
Yeah, and as a Swede, I have to point out both Flusha and Getrites is not in the playoffs. We only have Olaf left.
Yeah, and then we can have a look at that bracket so you can see who took their place. Now, Chad, the quarterfinals were a real mashup of old and new. We learned a lot of lessons, though, during that battle.
Well, let's not mince words. The first 2 games were lackluster, right? Both of the underdog teams didn't show up. The young guns, the rookies, so to speak, didn't make any dent, didn't really show anything. But Astralis versus FaZe definitely whet the appetite for what's on the cards today. Yeah. And Team Liquid versus Hellraisers, that was another matchup where I didn't feel that Liquid were playing their A game, and I think they stated the same after their match.
Yes, we have these are your semi-finals. MiBR, they've lifted major trophies before, now they combine in a symbiotic relationship of the Brazilian powerhouse and the Cloud9 underdogs who did everything on home soil to lift that trophy. It's quite an interesting combination. Going up against NaVi, I mean, I'm sure you guys aren't, particularly bothered about getting to see Simple do his thing live in Wembley. You excited about that one? Simple on the stage, Cold Zera on the stage. It is just going to be everything a Counter-Strike fan wants and more.
Yeah, there's always that talk, right, of those 2 players going head-to-head. You add Nico into the mix, who's the best in the world. The fact we get them to clash in a semi-final here, and we've already had kind of a... we already saw that once this year at StarLadder. We saw Simple go toe-to-toe with Cold Zero, just a back-and-forth game. I'm expecting it to be a little bit more team-based, maybe, a little bit more from the other players in the server, but to get to see them do their best work here is fantastic. And
speaking of seeing them, it is almost that time. So, Wembley, give them that London welcome you've been doing every single day. Let's get this quarterfinal started.
NaVi caught a major L upon their entry into the Legend stage. They faced Astralis, who obviously have the team's number, topping them in every previous tournament confrontation.
Feed me. I know I wanted you home.
But thankfully, NaVi caught fire by going on a 3-0 run, firmly landing their spot in the champion stage. Led by Simple and Electronic, NaVi is looking like they're sick of being third fiddle, as seen with their 2-0 decapitation of Big in the quarterfinals. MiBR opened the Legend stage of the Major with them losing their first match, then seemingly jumping on a roller coaster of wins and losses. This shook up the esports world even more than their roster's been shaking for the past few months. Set ablaze, MiBR rolled into the champion stage, beating Complexity like they stole something 2 matches to 0. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for MiBR and NaVi.
When they get in that booth, they will not hear you. This is your chance. Give it up for MiBR! And as well, stepping into the ring, give it up for NaVi! Sounds like a split crowd. This is two of the scariest teams to step into the server. MiBR and NaVi about players combined now in one team jersey and are about to duke it out.
Yeah, all made in Brazil. You know, these guys have really made their course back to a top-tier team. They didn't start this way. There was a lot of issues with the roster change earlier in the year, changing organization. But what they've shown is a different brand of Counter-Strike to what we're used to. It used to be very mid-round. Now it's very structured. You've seen what Yanko's brought to this squad. It's exciting. And the same thing can be said for NaVi. Of course they've got Simple. Of course they've got Electronic. But they've been playing a different style that I've ever seen from these guys.
Threat, it does feel like both of these teams have had their fair share of woes and troubles coming to this major towards the end of 2018.
Yeah, NaVi had a really strong mid-2018, but they kind of struggled the past few months. However, if you look at their performance versus complexity, I'm especially thinking of Electronic and Simple. They just played out of their minds.
Yeah, and that I can't wait to talk about them more. MiBR, though, is our first port of call. Let's focus on this fantastic combination of talent.
How does it feel for you, my friend? I think we feel super accomplished. We've been working pretty hard the past month as a new team, and we've been boot camping everywhere. And just to make it to the top 8, we feel super accomplished and know that the hard work that we've been through, it's worth it.
There was a lot of relief when we won the last match against NIP, because as Stewie said, we have been on the road for around 35 days. And it's been very intense, 35 days, every day, around 8 to 10 hours of Counter-Strike, being very judgmental in terms of getting better and looking out and pointing out our mistakes. So everyone in the team has put a lot of effort, and fail to become a legend again would be a big step down for us. So we are very happy to make sure we guarantee ourselves the next major, and now we have something else to fight for as well. We can maybe bring us a third major for the Brazilians and a second one for the Americans.
Something really stood out from that interview. It was right at the start. And Threat, they said, as a new team. And reality sunk in that when you change 2 players, you are a new team. They started communicating in a different language. They find themselves on the semi-final stage. There must be testament to their ceiling.
Yeah, and especially since they brought in both Tarek and Stu2K, very explosive players if you compare it to their old roster. I think Coldzera, Fallen, and Fur. I mean, Fur is an aggressive player. However, they tend to have a kind of defensive play style. But as you said, it's a completely new team, and especially now with Yanko.
But it's weird to feel that a team that has, I suppose, the last dominant era that I can remember in Counter-Strike, other than the new Astralis one, which is still unfolding in front of our eyes, dropped so far. And that was so disappointing, that we knew the caliber was here with this squad. When you have a core of Coldzera, Fur, and Fallen, the godfather of modern-day Counter-Strike, it should be a squad to be reckoned with, but there were obvious teething issues to start off. But I think, you know, if we do stay with that Fallen point, he's returned to that form that everybody loves to watch.
Yeah, and I think that is something I want to continue to talk about, is that this is a roster, this is a lineup that has, every individual has, in some way, a very clear role within this roster. Don't always have that, we especially don't have that with their opponents, but everyone does slot quite nicely into a formula for success.
I think, you know, if you have to look towards the more modern iteration of Counter-Strike, it's a lot more free-flowing, and you do get that when you look at Tarek, Stewie, and Fur, who can all be relatively aggressive, but they all know how to play Counter-Strike passively. They all know the roles. They know not to overextend and take the risks. The 2 pivotal players for me in this squad have to be Fallen, being very sporadic and aggressive with that combat orb, and then Coldzera being, you know, the top 3 player in the world, always having that impact. Yeah,
and actually we have got something to demonstrate that, and you selected this one, both of you, that you want to demonstrate the double AWP prowess Threat.
Yeah, and they, especially on Inferno, both Fallen and Coldzera likes to go for that double AWP setup. And in this game here versus, I think it was, Complexity, they went for it, I think, 6 to 7 rounds on the CT side, even though they lost the half 8-7, which is very rare. You can see here there's a lot of kills from both Fallen and Coldzera. Coldzera playing that A side, Fallen playing very aggressive in Banana. And yeah, you can see here how as soon as they lose a few players, they're just going to save, because they know it's so pivotal for them to have that double AWP setup.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons the double AWP can be such a, an integral part. The problem is as well on the CT side of a map like Inferno, Inferno, if your economy is getting beaten down, you're not going to be able to afford the orbs or the utility you need to get map control. So saving it makes a lot of sense. But if we're going to look towards the positives and how they can play it, against a team like NaVi, if they can get a pick and get away, that's fantastic, because NaVi are a squad who are really good at trading, and you want to avoid that at any cost.
And I mean, just the fact that you get to see Fallen on that AWP in a much more candid way than he previously was, while stressing with the coach in-game leader combo. He felt like he was almost doing everything.
Yeah, he got a little bit caged for a while there, and you know, there's more aggressive players who came in and they moved away from that style, which made them so good. But now we finally returned to that form, and we're seeing the dividends really pay off.
Yeah, and I mean, you'd be a fool, especially in an MiBR NaVi matchup, when talking about AWPs, to not focus on their opponents as well. They certainly are no strangers to the big green gun. Let's talk about NaVi.
Whew! We finally did it. We passed the group stage. It's feel great. Feel great to be a legend again.
I felt a bit less emotional because it's not the main goal to just pass the group stage, but of course it felt good when we passed it, and I felt it's okay. It's our first step that we need to pass the group stage.
Just the first step, says Flamey. Well, this one, it ain't an easy step to overcome. It's going to be NaVi. They're going to have to fire on all cylinders, every single one of them. And Flamey, you heard him talking, he has been such an anchor, such a pillar of stability for NaVi.
Yeah, surprisingly. And when we look at this squad and we look at the peak of them, part of that core has to be Simple, Electronic, and as you mentioned, Flamey, basically firing on all cylinders to be the best in the world. Now, if you look at their stats within this tournament, Simple's ranked #1, Electronic is #2, and Flamey comes in at #4. So
wow.
They're dominating those stat lines, and they're individually playing fantastic as a unit. We know in the past these guys can be fiery, they can really get rattled, the tilt rounds are there, but somehow, like a dysfunctional relationship, they make it work, and the god of Counter-Strike just continues to lead and dominate. This has been going on for almost a year now.
I mean, you say god of Counter-Strike, I think there's a demigod, and he's on your screens right there. Electronic has not under-delivered when he claimed he can keep up with Simple on this team.
Yeah, he had some really sick rounds versus Complexity 2 days ago, and I also want to point out Flamey. I want to give him credit for being a great secondary opera of the team.
Right. Okay, and that's something that we don't often talk about.
No, he's not necessarily known to be an AWPer by any means, but he applies it in the same way, more of just a utility, the necessity when you need that AWP on a side of the map. Now, we always talk about, Edward and Zeus, and they don't really have, a huge amount of influence in the server, but that, I suppose, comes from us here on the analyst desk being the old guard. We used to watch these guys or play against these guys in Threat's case back in 1.6, and they were both phenomenal players. Now they're more role players. Obviously, Zeus, the in-game leader, and Edward is, I don't want to say supportive, but he's just doing the grunt work for the squad.
And when he does need to have, hold down a site, he does do it. He'll get the first 3 and his job is done. Tick that box. And I want to tick this box because you have a demo selected to talk about NaVi working as a unit, and I'm very intrigued to know, what you've chosen to demonstrate that.
Yeah, when we're talking about NaVi, we usually just talk about their individual prowess. But however, as we can see in this train game versus NIP, you're going to see it simply, he's going to fake that he's taking alley, and they're using a setup where they play very heavily around the bomb train and the connector area. And you can't actually see that there's no one holding alley, and we're going to see Simple push out towards Electric and hold alley from that position. This means that there are 3 players close to each other around the bomb train, around Pop Dog. They can go for the fast rotations inside. They still have a good angle towards alley, and I actually think they did it like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, this is the second round they do it, and you can see here, this is very key. He throws a couple of nades towards alley. This means that NIP has to worry about the guy holding alley, which means they will waste utility.
There's a lot more finesse to them, right? That's the point. The point is, it is normally just the individuals we look at and we go, wow, Simple's so good, Electronic is fantastic. But the fact of the matter is, their approach to the game has now shown me multiple levels. I was thinking these guys just would force buy and keep their individuals firing on all cylinders to break your economy and make sure that you have pressure on you and can't, do your game plan. But when we saw them play against Big, that was a completely different version of NaVi. That was a team who was so well-oiled and well-regimented. They were the ones who looked better prepared in the server, and that's shown me that if they can come in today with a similar firepower against MiBR, they can destroy them.
And a simple setup, I say simple, of course, in quotes, but with a simple setup, they just have the aim. If you don't win that duel in any of those points of entry, you're going to have to look for the next round, and that's what's so scary. And I'm sure it's not scary for Parla because he's hanging out with his buddies NaVi as they get closer and closer to game time.
I am indeed hanging out with NaVi, and by the way, what a fantastic intro. Everybody, can you give it up for Alex and the guys on the desk?
And a quick question, do we have any Simple fans in the building? Simple, when I met you in 2015, you were a rough diamond with a bit of a bad boy reputation. At that time, could you ever imagine being seen as one of the best players in the world and competing on stages like this with crowds like that?
I can only say it's about all people that I had the same road, you know. It's fans, it's organization, all people that had communication with me changed me. And now I'm really happy that I'm staying here in front of a beautiful crowd. Guys, so much people over here, so much people. So many, oh, sorry guys.
We love it, Sasha, best of luck. I'm going to head over to Edward now, if he has a moment. Edward, you are a storied CSGO player. You are a respected legend of the game. At a moment like this, before you go into battle at a major, what is King Edward thinking?
How to play good, man.
All right, well, best of luck. Final words with Mr. Electronic. Sir, you've been a superstar as of late. Would you like to say anything to the crowd, to the fans at home?
I hope you will cheer for us, boys. That's why we need your support, guys, for win.
All right, and some extra final words from Sasha.
We are doing it for you guys. So cheer for your favorite team, not only for us, for me, MiBR as well. We hope you're going to show a beautiful Counter-Strike and you will like it.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for NaVi. Give it up for MiBR. This semi-final is going to be huge. Alex, over to you.
Oh my goodness. Simple. He's a stunner in the server, stunner on the mic as well. But yes, we do want to get closer and closer to game time. We need to know the maps, and you need to know about one of our sponsors, Epics.gg. You can collect your favorite CSGO pros, trade them, and all of that good stuff. Check it out on the app, iOS and Google Play, or you can head over to the website, Epics.gg. But moving on, what I want to do is focus on two of the biggest names in the server, and I say that without much hesitation. It's called Zera and Simple. These guys have forged quite the legacy for themselves outside of the team.
Yeah, and in the context of this tournament, Simple, as I mentioned earlier, ranked #1 on statistics, and then coldzera coming in at #7. Now, there is obviously the conversation over the last couple of years who the best player in the world is. For me, it has to be Simple, but coldzera is always in the discussion with the top 3. You add NiKo into that mix, and that is so fiery.
Very different players and very different approaches to the game, though, Threat.
Yeah, coldzera is a very defensive player, whereas Simple is more explosive. You go for more peaks with that up. However, I think coldzera's style fits MiBR better. I don't think Simple should be on MiBR and the other way around.
Sure. It's almost as if they thrive within exactly what they're supposed to do, within the parameters that the team requires of them.
Well, definitely NaVi builds Simple up to be the best player in the world, but why wouldn't you, right? When this guy can do it day in, day out, he always performs. I think there was only one game I remember where, you know, he wasn't towards the top of the leaderboard in this tournament, but he was still winning a game 16-6 or something of the lines. You know, that means that there's doing something right, and that's all that matters.
And something you guys do right every single time is talk about those vetoes. Before we start talking maps, I do want to quickly remind everyone about those percentage predictions. I want to check in. It's on your Upcomer app. You guys have been casting your vote. Now, I'm pretty sure it's 50-50 in this crowd because London's been pretty fantastic with that way. But let's have a little look what you guys have been saying. You can let us know. Yeah, wow. There you go. What? I called it. Let's get a quick taste in the arena. Do we have any NaVi fans here? And how about MiBR? I'm telling you, man, 50-50.
Close.
I'm telling you.
It's definitely close.
Fantastic.
I don't think I can lean with 50-50.
Okay, why's that?
Well, I think that NaVi have a definite edge here. I think MiBR are still having to prove themselves with this rebuilding of the team, you know, bringing in the coach, everything changing. They've shown that they can crumble in certain scenarios. They've been 16-0'd in this tournament, Alex. Let's not forget.
And I'm not forgetting either that, you know, the same team that 16-0'd them was the team that NaVi nearly beat. It was a best of 1, sure, but 16-14 threat that NaVi really were not far from taking.
Yeah, I completely agree with Chad here. I think it's closer to 75-25 in favor of NaVi, especially after that performance versus complexity.
You know what that music means. It's time for the veto. 7 maps in the pool, just 3 will be our battlefield as we step into a semi-final.
Permabans are very clear here. NaVi going to be getting rid of Cation. We can see that. And for MiBR, it's going to have to be Nuke. It's not a map that they touch. It's not a map that they play. So that's very obvious.
Okay.
But this is where the picks get juicy. Do NaVi want to continue to go with Mirage, where they find so much success, where their stars can thrive? Or do they want to mix it up? Do they want to go for a punish pick, which could be an Overpass, a map where, you know, MiBR haven't really shown much form? Oh, it will be Overpass. That's a risk early.
Does that mean we get Fallen in toilets doing mad things with the orb?
It has to be. They're not going to mix up their CT setup a lot, but this is a curveball in my opinion.
Yeah, they've thrown a curveball in the last game as well. They picked Nuke versus Complexity, so this is the second time that NaVi goes for a strange ban.
Wait, hold up. Is that Dust 2? That's Dust 2. So, okay, let's just hold up a second.
Wait, what?
MiBR was 16-0'd in this tournament on this map, and they're more than happy to pick it into NaVi, who looked very good against Big earlier in the tournament. This is very strange.
And they've played Inferno plenty of times. Except for that Tylo game, they've been very consistent on Inferno. And NaVi's been really bad on Inferno these past few months, so this is really surprising.
And NaVi had some serious nade usage on Dust 2. He actually highlighted it, right? They've clearly done their homework coming into that map. MiBR have thrown a spanner in the works.
Yeah, I think to look at this historically, NaVi have been terrible on Dust 2. Their CT setups have been all over the place, but it looks like they've really polished it to end on Train. Look, we've really lost most of the brawly maps here.
Yeah.
With NaVi banned Mirage.
NaVi banned Mirage, but also MiBR had the choice of Inferno. I mean, MiBR's Inferno, they're no slouches.
Yeah, they were looking hot on Inferno throughout the tournament. They were getting banana control quite easily. Their T-side was a weakness. We did see them come a bit of a hiccup against Tyloo earlier. So to Overpass to come out here, I'm very curious because we haven't seen a lot of MiBR on Overpass. We don't really know what their approach is going to be like. No. Historically, you know, we've had Fur over in the toilets with Fallen. They're playing with that A bomb site quite aggressively. Over towards B, that's where you have Cold Zero anchoring, but that's when you had Taco and Bolts on the team. Now we've got Stewie and Tarek, who are a lot more aggressive and more hybrid players. So it's going to be interesting to see how the CT side plays out.
And I mean, so Overpass, I had the absolute joy of seeing NaVi, pretty much this team, of course, not necessarily the full five, no electronic, but doing mad boosts, crazy innovations that they had put time into on Overpass. They still exist, and NaVi, when it's semi-final, you just get all of the aces out of your sleeve going up against a team like MiBR.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to need those tricks against MiBR. They just need to play the basics, but we've already seen what they can do after they lose pistols or they force buy in, the economy's broken. They're able to pull out these miracle rounds, and that's just by getting a weapon in the hands of either Simple or Electronic. There's a couple of factors I want to touch on here. NaVi and MiBR throughout the tournament have both got 50% wins on pistols, right? So we know that how integral pistols can be, but they're pretty even in that way. The biggest stat line here is NaVi, after winning pistols, have a 100% conversion rate. They're able to convert. We know how important that is if you want to get those 3 rounds on the board.
And MiBR, do you have that one as well?
66.7. So it's relatively close.
Not bad, not too bad.
Yeah, I think 66 is the average of all teams.
Okay, so MiBR more average than NaVi, who will always close it out. When you've got Simple, you just put a Desert Eagle in his hands and Kevlar, he's going to win that second round.
Yeah, the flow-on effects, just so everybody can be aware, if you're able to convert, especially on the T side, a clean 3-0, that force buy comes in, and their first gun round, they're going to be low on utility. So it's not just winning the pistol, not just converting. You get 4 or 5 rounds out of that if you're NaVi most times.
Yeah, and we are getting closer and closer to game time. And that does mean that we have to start doing that prediction, that dreaded prediction. And of course, we can't do that without our casters. Please give them a warm Wembley welcome. It's going to be Anders and Jason Moses O'Toole. You guys are great.
This crowd is great.
I'm telling you, Jason, that London does it best.
I know. I feel like you guys, that I've been traveling with in the broadcast team, haven't given me an appropriate representation of how amazing UK people are.
Okay, I see how it is.
That wasn't bad. That was a little backhanded.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. You're looking fantastic. You can fly a tie. I haven't seen you wear a tie since your 30th birthday in '93. But
that's good. Yeah. Yikes. Good rebuttal. I really want to go for MiBR in this one. Big fan of Yanko, obviously. Yeah. I'm not going to. I think Simple is going to be able to stop him. I think Simple and Electronic together, that pairing is probably the best 2 players we have on a team in this major. And I think Navi's got this.
You got a split caster desk here, Anders, or what are you saying?
Not like, 1 week after he leaves the desk and Mo's already stabbing in the back. I can't believe it. I'm going with Navi as well.
You are? Another Navi. You said 75 threat. You said 75-25. You got no love for MiBR?
Navi 2-0.
Navi 2.
He's got maps as well.
Okie dokie. So now I'm starting to feel a bit of a tingle here, Chad.
I'm lost. I am lost. That veto has really thrown me.
I have a coin here.
No, we don't do that. It's fine. It's fine. I still think Navi have the edge in this matchup. It's just that if the game plan of MiBR can be run without too many hiccups, I can see this going the distance, giving us 3 maps, but I still think Navi are going to take it.
Wow. Okay. So now, if you haven't been here in Wembley for the last couple of days, you may not have met our pro analyst. She does predictions too. We'll check in with her now and see what she's been saying. It's, of course, 2 eggs, our favorite analyst. She's been rocking the percentage. All right. She's been working with Parla thoroughly. Oh!
Always go in the underdog.
She loves the underdog. One for MiBR.
There's got to be something in that feed that's not quite right.
I'm struggling. I can see. I want to see MiBR. I want to see Yanko stepping onto a grand final stage. It's too good of an opportunity to do it. I'm going to join 2 eggs. I'm going for MiBR.
Alex, can you imagine what Yanko would be like if Yanko's on that grand final stage?
Honestly,
3 weeks into coaching?
I'd be scared to be his opponent. I mean, he has this death stare thing he does. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we have done our predictions, and that does mean it's almost game time. Now, Wembley, the players can't hear you. That's the joys of the booth. But what they can do is see you. Now, if you could get those smartphones out for me. Simple, I was talking to him yesterday. He says, I love that thing they do with the lights. Now, why not let's just go ahead and get him fully. Oh, you're doing it already. I don't even have to explain. Get him up. Let the players see you. And if you roar loud enough, they may even hear you. So on 3, I want to hear you, Wembley. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the major, welcome to London, Anders, Jason, it's over to you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Alex. This is going to be a historic game for sure. MiBR and NaVi in a best-of-3 in the semi-finals. I just can't wait for this to get underway. I think we're going to see some crazy and beautiful and just absurd Counter-Strike. It's going to be great.
We've already seen the absurdity, the insanity of picking Dust 2 if you're MiBR. That takes balls of steel. And we know there's players in here in this server who's going to do the same things. The plays that guys like Simple and Fallen can make. This can be an unbelievable matchup. And what triple maps to do it on. You know, Overpass into Dust 2. That's craziness.
Yeah, I was shocked by that pick, but let's just see what they bring. This is going to be exciting on Overpass as well. So many historic matchups that have happened on this map. So much innovation that can still happen as we go through it. It feels like even though obviously it's sort of a mainstay of Counter-Strike now, it hasn't been explored as deep as it could have been. And some of the people on this, I mean, Fallen, some of the games we've seen on him on this map with the AWP have been absolute madness as well.
He's one of the originals that showed how you can defend this map with an AWP. And yeah, I mean, there's always new tricks, especially at the major, especially with a big break coming into this. Teams get prepared on a whole new level. We're going to see some fun things between 2 of the best teams in the world. This is for a spot in the grand finals. It's grand finals or bust for both of these squads. And here we go, Wembley, live into the pistol round. NaVi versus MiBR.
It's going to be MiBR starting on the CT side, NaVi on the T side, and we are off to a banging start with Tarik taking down Simple. And anytime you get him in the kill feed on the receiving end, you know it's good. You know you've done something right. It's like killing 2 people once you take him down. And Tarik made it look easy as well. Now they're going to be boosting, looking into the connector, but Flamey absolutely calling that bluff immediately and taking down Cold Zero. So 2 of the heavy hitters out of the pistol round already. And it's a 4-on-4 with plenty of time left.
And with that kill, you can see NaVi shifting over towards this B bomb site just a little bit. They know there had to have been a second player for that boost. They want to at least force him back. Stewie's got a new angle. Watching for a peek. Here's the door. He wants one more fight. Sees him jumping across, but that's the information over to NaVi, and they bail out. A stalemate over in the short waters.
Couple of smokes there as well on the NaVi side. So, I mean, it makes sense that they would go a little bit slow and try and feel out what the defense is like before they commit those smokes. We'll see how it's all going to play out. They do have that one long-range upgraded P250 that we're all a fan of now. It's on Edward. Get one long-range shot against that USP. It'll take out a player instantly. No head armor in the pistol round, so that'll do the trick.
It was on Simple first, but he got taken down early, and Tarik's about to get hard checked. This can be dangerous. Fallen's there to try and cover him a little bit, but this is a tenuous moment for this pistol round.
Does Edward have a flashbang on the other side? He could flash Tarik right here, and he does have a flashbang over at long. That smoke goes up at a pretty inconvenient time now, 22 seconds. They're committed to this fight. Tarik trying to get a double, but he can't do it. Electronic will take him down, and now NaVi, they have to go for the side. They can't wait any longer. Fallen can't see a single thing. Perfect flashbang. Electronic set up for the double kill, and now it's a 2-on-4. 10 seconds left. Stewie running out, executing one. The bomb goes down right in front. He could have almost won that round. Just one more second is what he needed, and it's on Fur. 1 versus 3. Tagged up, already down. Flamey with a triple instead, and NaVi win the pistol.
You take down Simple right at the start, and you got to feel pretty good about that if you're MiBR, but what a great round. Flamey peeking for this boost, not caught unawares by it. That's beautiful. And then the execution of the bomb site. This flashbang is perfect for Fallen's position. You could see him just trying to get a timing shot. And great coverage on the plant as MiBR falls into desperation. A 1-0 start for NaVi, and as they just highlighted on the desk, 100% win percentage on converting the second round after winning the pistol. That's craziness to see in a tournament.
I mean,
that just doesn't happen anymore.
I can't even imagine how that actually works. It feels like it shouldn't be real, but a lot of Mac 10s and a couple of AK-47s, they are expecting armor, and they're going to run into it as well. CSAT 75s and Deagles definitely don't want to underestimate that at the current time. Edward leading the charge a little bit here with a Mac 10. But they're all set up. I mean, at least 4 of them around the corner. It's going to be Fallen picking up the first kill. A lot of damage in return, though. Fallen for practically out of it, and they are going to clean up most of this push. Still a 3-on-3, though. It's not so bad, actually, for MiBR.
No, not too bad at all. Still an element of danger. They've held this back. Simple at long with the bomb, but Edward's still looking for one more peek, and that's not a fight you necessarily want to commit to, but Tarek's going to win it anyway. Takes off Edward's head, and now Electronic and Simple are split. These two players have been so good. Oh, Simple's going to have the information. coldzera turns the corner. He's not ready. He's not prepared. Into a 2-on-2, and the bomb site is open. Electronic can watch the flank, and there's nothing they can do to stop this plant. It will fall into a clutch situation, and no rifles have been picked up by MiBR.
So rough. What a deep play from Simple as well. He had the bomb. If he doesn't win that fight for whatever reason, that gives away the bomb, and it's a very awkward 1-on-2. This retake, though, is going to be almost impossible. You have to fight long range. They have a Molotov as well they can put on that bomb site. Tarek is going to be going down. It's a good double kill for Simple. And now, Stewie, good time to work some magic. A grenade to try and set it up. But Simple will land the triple instead. And that will be NaVi at 2-0. Very close there for them. I mean, definitely a scary round.
That is definitely a scary round. So NaVi going to be put on notice, and we have it coming into this. MiBR is not going to invest. So we have time really quick. Last few days of the major. FACEITmajor.com/premium pass. If you want to be able to pick and choose whichever players you want to spectate throughout the rest of this event. The first few games of the day, I believe the observer feed is free. That's pretty sweet.
Yes, indeed. Definitely check that out. Single flashbang there on the MiBR side. Something that they have actually committed to for quite a while. One of the things I really do enjoy about this team, they go for these big stacks. They try and hide until you're really deep in the bomb site, and then the first point of contact, they put out that flashbang and they just hope for the best. That's a good grenade, though, softening up Stewie already down to 27. Now they're deep on the bomb site. Flashbang comes out maybe a bit late and actually goes a bit past them as well. Good kills. coldzera also taking down Zeus. This is a bit more expensive right now. Much more expensive, actually, than NaVi would like. Back in a 2-on-2, they don't even have armor this time, and they're doing all this damage. Electronic flanking around that corner. He's going to clean up for, and coldzera, he's going to go down as well, but still, that's a lot of kills in the first early rounds here for MiBR.
Yeah, back-to-back rounds. NaVi only survives with 2 players, so that's a lot of cash eaten up on these rebuys coming in here. Not bad from MiBR whatsoever, but this is the first test for this NaVi offense. 3-0. Now you're going to start getting the M4s out. Fallen's going to have the AWP with a little bit of light armor. Going to be missing utility on this defensive side, but NaVi wants to get started. MiBR wants to get started real quick. You do not want to go down 5-0. Give NaVi all the rounds that they need to start this map out.
Tarek setting up for the monster tunnel smoke. This is to try and prevent any kind of quick B rush. Those B rushes can be so deadly on this map. Oh, it actually did miss. He's not going to have an effect this round, but that's scary. If they'd gone for it, that would have been great setup.
It's also scary to think he's passing that information on. You better be able to fix that one on the fly. No chance to practice that mistake. Might also get into the minds of anyone who might want to peek behind that smoke thinking it's going to be there, and it's not.
What a gift it is. Fallen versus Simple. That alt battle alone. You have dreams about that kind of a fight happening on a major stage. Electronic just a little aggressive there at the L-bend. That could be really scary. There are lots of ways in which they can retake that part of the map. And so far NaVi slow to creep across the map, as they usually are.
Going to be interesting to watch how Fallen moves his AWP across the map. He had it out towards long early on, but when he feels no pressure, now he's gotten in towards bathrooms where he can fight a retreating battle. So many different angles he can take. It's always precarious timing, though, as you try and eventually sink into the bomb site. There's no one back there. It's him and Fur. Very aggressive crossfire setup. Fur needs to stay alive as well. If he goes down, Fallen is exposed. They're going to start wrapping behind. Edward and Simple playing long. Fallen with the chance. First kill, that's an easy one. Do they hunt him down? Fur is still waiting to punish anyone who comes up next. But Fallen on the hunt as well. A second kill. Oh, and he tags Electronic as well. Low HP.
Not sure if he knows yet. Edward coming in from behind, shooting with the back, and that's a big opening. They've done everything right. Fallen that held that bomb site for such a long time. coldzera challenging the flames and getting the kill on Edward. That's a we're beginning here. 10 seconds if Coltier gets the kill, the smoke evaporates, and he's going to stop the bomb. 10 seconds now, and there it is. Stewie picking up the kill on Simple, and MiBR on the board already 3-1. They only survive with one man, which means it's still very sketchy for them, but that was a big round in their favor.
This really was, and it felt like it should have been a cleaner win, a 5-on-3. And even one player badly bruised up. Fallen gave them everything, and it was still a battle the whole way through. Only surviving with one player means the money's going to be low. It's going to be busted on the NaVi side. This is huge. Which team gets broken early on in this game? If it's MiBR, that's the nightmare scenario for a defense. And we know NaVi are good with these force buys.
See if Tarek, he did get it this time, so that's how it was supposed to work. Down in the tunnel. Nice.
He's back.
Yeah, he's back into it. He's just, needed to get that arm warmed up, Moses. We'll see. Very sketchy buy out of NaVi. Those are the early rounds where they lost all those players that are sort of coming back to haunt them a little bit now.
It's all right. Look at what they've done with even just losing a round in a one-on-one. I mean, that's Fallen with the AWP, but no armor. He's had to drop a weapon over to a teammate. Light on utility. Only one kit on Fur. They have the SMG as well. So this MiBR, the arsenal they're bringing into it is not great. And another slow-paced round. This time Fallen and Fur going to play more passive, sinking into the bomb site with over a minute remaining in the round. NaVi, no one over towards that B bomb site as well. Flamey has control of the stairs, and they're happy with that for the moment. But if MiBR ever investigate anything, they're going to feel no pressure.
It's actually a really good amount of utility on the NaVi side. If they can get long in restrooms, they're going to fall back from it. I thought maybe they would use that as a staging area to set up the execute into the A bomb site. They're not doing that right now. Instead, they've just cleared it up, making sure no one's flanking them, and then they're going back to recommit to the B bomb site. This is, I mean, the way that Stewie and the rest are holding it down here, Coltier, they're actually falling out of it. Oh no, this could be an absolutely unmitigated disaster. NaVi could almost have a free round if it keeps going this way. It might be, I feel like they've got some, are they just waiting? Is there some sort of...
It's I believe there was I think the round was called off. There was a tech issue.
I was going to say, man, I was getting real scared then. I was like, oh no, don't do that.
Oh, what a tease.
That was a really good tease, wasn't it?
They're just toying with our hearts. So yeah, tech issue, nothing going crazy. No one took damage, so we're going to be able to restart that round easily.
That would have been... it's good that it happens. I mean, the rules do say once someone's taken damage, that means the round is kind of live, and you just have to deal with whatever happens. So if we have any tech issues, we want to have them before that happens.
Yeah, before the damage comes in.
It's a good little thing.
Our boy Yanko getting a little bit of a cheer from the crowd.
Yeah,
not much.
Deserved as well. Listen, I definitely want more camera shots of Yanko when they're winning rounds. That's my new favorite thing. I want a whole sort of GIF database just of Yanko doing things.
Looks like the issue is with Fallen. He's the one who's got his headsets off, no one else talking. Obviously, communication during tech pauses is not allowed between the teams. So there can be no craziness going on, and as they get fixed, I mean, this has been a pretty nice start. NaVi took a lot of damage in those second and third rounds, despite not dropping either one of them. MiBR with that first gun round, and I mean, this kind of is the first real test for both of these teams. Both of them at the breaking point in terms of what they can bring into the round, what kind of money they can purchase.
The Smooya sign. Oh man, they've been calling his name for like...
They've been chanting him all morning.
Like an hour before anyone even showed up on the stage. It's incredible.
It was not bad. This might be a good time to talk about. There was, if any of you don't necessarily follow the NaVi, I believe it was the NaVi official YouTube, there was that clip of Electronic taking a little bit of umbrage to the fact that Fallen maybe put him down a bit in an interview. Fallen had said something along the lines, you know, NaVi coming into this unprepared, NaVi not looking strong, and that's why they've dropped the maps. And Electronic was not pleased with that. Said he had a dream that he would get MiBR in the semifinals, and he's got his dream.
Yeah, that much has been accomplished. I mean,
there is that saying though, you got to be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, especially when it's a game against, I mean, the star power of MiBR is so ridiculous when you look at it. You keep having this feeling that if they can get the last piece of the puzzle to sort of click all the way through, then they almost will be an unstoppable force. I mean, it's just amazing, but they just need a little bit more.
It does feel like it's just a matter of time before this MiBR team kind of returns to its glory. We'll just have to see. They've been slowly improving. I thought it would be a bit faster, but I mean, you still got to be kind of happy if you're MiBR to be at this kind of I guess a weakened state, quote unquote, and still be in the top 4 of a major and still be able to fight for a spot in the grand finals. That's a great luxury to have, isn't it?
It really is. It's so ridiculous. If you think of all the lineup changes that Fallen has been behind throughout the just CSGO, Brazilian, Counter-Strike, and how many times he's been right. Like, it's so ridiculous.
It's
so hard to
weird.
change players, right? And he just keeps pulling out the hat somehow, brings in new people, and it works again. All right, easy for Navi. I thought it was going to be easy for Ence. I've seen a lot of Ence shirts in the crowd.
Yeah, that's cool to see. Shout out to our boy Natsu.
Yeah.
Ence coming up hot.
They're
Well,
doing
either way,
something right.
tech pause is all completed. London, have you guys all had an appropriate number of beers?
Yeah.
Getting there.
It's early, but they'll get there. All right, 5th round coming up. Tech issues roll out of the way. We've got some AKs, that one Galil there. I feel like it's going to be imperative for MiBR to secure this with a great grenade that lands on Edward. Sort of, it's not completely risk-free, but it's very low risk throwing that grenade. And the payoff is huge.
Yeah, especially if it lands the way it did. Yeah, they're going to shuffle the guns around as well. Edward had one of the AKs, but he passes it over. Going to keep the high HP players with the most impactful weapons. Colin Fur again playing a similar setup as to that previous round, so not a whole lot has changed. Deep into the bomb site. And Navi again just kind of pushing forward towards Fountain. All 5 players on this side of the map, and this time coldzera has actually pushed in towards short sewers, so they have all the knowledge that no pressure is coming from that direction. He has the information needed, and that'll allow Tarek to cheat back towards A little bit quicker than he probably normally would.
It's even a dynamic position for coldzera to be in, because he could actually flank them from connector if he's really quick about it, so it works in so many different ways. It's not bad at all. See, is anyone going to jump at the flower beds here? Fallen, he can definitely hit some flicks of his own, and Edward, you might not know it yet, but it's dangerous crossing this path. Bit of a grenade, he's going to turn back for it. There was the jump, but Fallen instantly doesn't even realize there's a second player there. Perfect the smoke with a beautiful double kill, and finally he gets taken out. Tarek is here though with the MP9, close range, 25 seconds. It's a 2-on-3, and they've got every chance of the world of winning this MiBR. They need to keep the members alive right here as Stewie picks up a headshot on Simple, and the electronic up on the boxes, tries to spin back, and oh my god, he picks up one more kill for the triple, and almost gets the quad. Stewie taking him out of the round. He was on top of the mountain. He was exposed from every single angle, and he almost took down all 3 of them.
Yeah, he's playing king of the hill. That is disgusting that he's able to spin and get that second one. You can see why he's been such a danger. And also you see on the screen, Stewie, a little bit of words between that round, probably something along the lines of that should have never happened. coldzera swinging for the wide fight, not fully realizing where Electronic is in, or where Electronic's position was, and Stewie, I mean, that's got to be a tough situation. If you're in a 3-on-1, all of a sudden you're left alone. That's an awkward and a very bad feeling. Tactical timeout this time from Navi, as they want to talk things over. One of the great strengths of theirs, among their rise recently has been their ability to force buy, has been their ability to win these rounds with very little to work with.
Yeah.
And you imagine they have to know back-to-back rounds that MiBR wins that come down to just one player surviving. And I would imagine this is going to be some kind of an investment from Navi as they try to keep that pressure on this defense. And indeed, an AK is picked up. 3-2, Navi with a very narrow lead.
It's one of the things that make them hard to play against. It's also a point of criticism that we bring up. Some of the downfalls they've had have been fueled by this kind of a purchase, and we don't know if it's going to be one of those games yet, but they have bought into this round. Number 6, and MiBR, again, as you said, they've won 2 in a row, but Fallen still has no body armor. They're limited on grenades. They've got that MP9 there from us in the mix as well. And Tarek wants to push right through, going to be taking down Edward. Simple is on the other side, though. He's got the deagle in hand, the grenade follow-up, and good shot from Fallen, covering the back. Flamey's down and out. Oh, Simple. He hits that headshot anyway, just does not care.
Yeah, we know he's going to challenge with the deagle. coldzera is actually in a pretty tough spot. That's an awkward battle to take on the rotation. It's just a pistol, so Stewie's going to help him out. No real punish there, but now they have to do what they haven't been able to previously. They have to keep players alive, and there's Electronic, and that might have been the last element of danger to take weapons away from them. This is looking like a very clean win for the MiBR side. It's just Simple.
Starting to look much better now. Simple, every kill right now is going to make a difference. 1 would be good, 2, and then you're really doing economic damage again. He's just waiting. He wants them to make the mistake. It's a bit of a shame that he got caught sort of out in the open down on that B bomb site with the AK-47, because otherwise it's very unlikely that they would check that angle. Simple's going to be going down. Stewie getting the triple, and even stealing the deagle at the end. 3-3, all tied up early on. Man, this has the early symptoms, Moses, of one of those great games. You could sort of feel it coming in. Remember, now you're playing on the T side, which is the harder side to play on this map.
You gotta love the bold call from MiBR though to push up, knowing it's likely going to be a force buy, and instead of just sitting back and waiting for those deagles to get into position to be able to jiggle peek in towards bomb sites, go and take the fight to them. It can backfire, obviously, but you want to see an MiBR that's going to be assertive. You want to see them willing to challenge and willing to fight NaVi. Oh, we're maybe coming again. We know Fur likes the aggression as well. Molotov to keep them delayed and back, and that nade timed for when the Molotov ends, hoping someone from NaVi is creeping forward. No damage dealt.
That's 4 people on the B-bomb side in the first, 20 seconds, and they're going to get the kill. Tarek as well. He's alone out here and just fighting and winning as well. Edward and Flamey both going down. Obviously no armor, but still. Now, this is a huge change.
And MiBR couldn't have known this. That Molotov and nade combo towards that main choke point towards Fountain and Playground actually funnels all 5 players of NaVi down into that underpass, so they're all just there for the slaughter. Usually you're only going to get 2, maybe 3. This time even Electronic and Simple are there and just had to back away from the fight. Now they're going to come into it, but MiBR doesn't need to take any more risks. They've done everything they need. Probably the one play that's being made is this. Fur pushing down, that's the bomb. A new angle, but the same spot in danger. And a clean sweep for MiBR. 4 in a row for this defensive side.
That's going to build the economy. That's going to give them some space to work with. NaVi, they're back in the money as well. That round loss bonus has started to build up. Losing 4 in a row will definitely do that, so they're looking a little bit fresher now. It'll be fun to see. There are so many Molotov executes that can happen on this map that are just fun to witness on the B-bomb side, and on A as well if you want, so kind of hope that we could see NaVi. They've had enough map control to be able to execute that kind of play, right?
At times, yes. We'll see if they get it again. Fur's going to be at those stairs. He's going to have great control, actually, and another boost, the same exact boost they saw last time. Maybe MiBR calling their bluff, saying you won't expect this twice. There's going to be a timing on when they fall away, because it's going to cover Tarek as he takes control. There's the flashbang, and they peek. Electronic goes for the op. Coldzera hides, and Tarek's able to punish. That smoke should slow this down. Zeus, oh, he's going to be bold. He's going to go through it, and he somehow wins that. Tarek's going to be frustrated, but he's done great damage. Rest of the hit going to come through Monster, and it's Stewie to hold initially.
Gonna smoke up behind him, just trying to make himself hard to find and buy time for the rest to show up. More than a minute left, and Stewie close range. He falls back into the smoke, and he's gonna get caught by Flamey. That was a very deep play. If it had worked, it would have been ridiculous. And Coldzera gonna fall as well. Much better hit this time for NaVi. And looking strong, they do line up, and oh my God, Fur taking down Edward and Flamey. They had no idea he'd crept in there. The bomb is down, yes, but they're weirdly locked in, almost getting the kill on Fur. He's gonna smoke it off. And Zeus is left on 7 health out there. Can he take the fight? Simple. When that smoker's gone, this position is no longer safe. A little bit of a missed opportunity. Simple has no idea. He's still boxed in. Fur gonna go for it, and he misses the chance. Now it's fallen 1 versus 2, and he gets caught jumping. Simple will close it out. And NaVi, after losing 4 in a row, are gonna pick up their round finally here with the rifles. That's probably a huge relief for them.
That's the next big danger of Fur's aggression. The fast flanks that come out are so brutal. This could have been much, much worse. When he turns the corner, the smoke wall is up, and Simple here has no choice but to fight. He knows he's blocked in, trying to find the timing. Takes the swing, and Simple with a double kill to end things, and still MiBR hasn't been able to sustain or secure any kind of long-term economy. They're back to, I mean, they have the weapons, but again, the last buy, a chance again for NaVi to break them.
Oh, absolutely. A double up setup. See what we can get out of it. Electronic incredibly quick, and they're looking for that boost every single time. Fallen, bit of an off angle here. Electronic going to be hard. Fallen, though, only has 1 shot, basically, and he's going to be out. There's Coldzera taking down 1. The second op is here. Fallen, he's got his aim trained right at that corner.
This can be tough, though, because Fallen's looking for a deeper angle. If Electronic turns the corner too fast and actually goes for a wide peek, it can be really awkward.
I think Stewie's right behind him.
Yeah, and Stewie's here as well to help out if that gets dicey, but they're gonna have to worry about Monster now that the smoke is cleared.
Oh, there's the kill from Fallen. That's huge. Electronic get down, the rest coming through the Monster tunnel. Edward getting a 1 kill, Flaming with the follow-up. Somehow they make the entry happen anyway. Now it's just Fallen getting 1 more kill, putting out the grenade and buying time again for the rest. Just slowing down this T offense is so big right now. And Flamey, perfect angle, instant headshot. He's going to follow it up as well. Taking down Tarek, it's absolutely beautiful. Look how dialed in he is. And now Fur, he almost saved them the last time. This time he's got a bit of a shot at doing it. Simple's there with the AWP, but they need to pick up that bomb and go for the plant eventually. And Fur, not a bad player to have left in this 1 versus 2 scenario. This is about money right now for both teams. Whoever loses this one is going to be in so much trouble. They smoke him off, but who's going to plant the bomb? There's a grenade on Fur, and if Flamey's the one planting it, yeah, he's going to line it up. Is it going to be a touchdown? It will take down Flamey, but the bomb is planted, so it's a second too late. And now it's Simple on the other side. Ready and waiting with that AK-47. He's behind the barrels, just looking for it. And Fur, he's trying to make him make a mistake. He wants him to come and peek, but Simple isn't doing it right now. He's got the advantage. He's got the better angle at the moment. Fur's got so much to check, and he's going to get shut down. Simple again saving Na'Vi. 5-4 as they win 2 in a row. And that's huge for them.
That's a difficult 1v2 for Fur to win, even with the nade kill as well. You know Simple had the AWP previously, so you're probably thinking he's going to be at a different angle, that he's going to be farther back, but Simple swaps out. He's able to be a bit more mobile, peeking around the pillar and finds Fur. I think MiBR got confused by that slowed down hit. Once Na'Vi ran into the troubles, once they didn't have the entries they wanted, I think MiBR thought that was going to be a rotation from Na'Vi back to that A bomb site. You could see Fallen kind of ignoring the left side of the site over that ramp and starting to fall back to get a different position and maybe cheat back towards A. Tactical timeout here we have going into the save round as Yanko pointing at his head. Mentality, perhaps, telling them to keep their focus.
That or shoot them in the head, that kind of thing. That
Headshot strategy.
Yeah, go for it. That was a 5-on-3 that Na'Vi managed to win. So, I mean, that kind of, if you can win those rounds, that will definitely keep the whole team alive and going. They've got the superior money now, and MiBR are going to have to slow it down a little bit.
A lot of the focus in this tournament so far has been, for Na'Vi, has been on, Simple and Electronic and how good they've been, but Flamey's had some very impactful kills, some double kills and everything, and he's a big factor why that round was actually turned into Na'Vi's favor. That is stellar play from Flamey. The Molotov, Edward's going to pounce. He's going to try and take advantage of it. Not going to happen, but now they can use their utility to set up a stage, and a team kill comes in, a little bit rattled. That's not what Yanko had in mind when he was pointing at his head. And an easy take for Na'Vi.
They did only have pistols, so I guess the consequence of that is pretty minimal, but they look kind of funny. Stewie and Fur, 2-on-5 here, and again, it's hard to really say if there's a way to make anything out of this. A kill on Electronic and stealing the AK would be big news. It's very hard to do, though. Electronic, actually, a little bit greedy, picking up the Deagle. Well, there's still a guy left. Hiding inside of the smoke is Fur. And I don't know, Electronic, I feel like he could be, and he could end up giving them a rifle here. It's not quite going to happen, but it's too close for my taste anyway.
Oh, but Na'Vi now is sitting at a very good number of rounds for this T side, only 10 rounds in, and they have a chance to build even more upon that. It's still going to be tough for MiBR to fight for this next one. I think they're actually going to go, I think they're even going to go for a small save, a little bit of a half buy coming in, just pistols and armor, MiBR to try and turn the favor, but they want the ops, obviously.
Moses, they all had over, what, 4,100 or something? So
I think they're really, really relying on that double op setup, and they need the money to take that out. So they're going to sit this one. It's not completely sitting out, but they are going to give Na'Vi a huge advantage here in this round. But these pistols could still catch Na'Vi off guard. It is a different style of play you have to come out with. You can take a few more risks if you're MiBR with the Deagles, with the CZs. Much different mobility. But this B bomb site has been getting punished by Na'Vi. It's been getting absolutely pummeled over and over again, and it's starting to crumble.
It's a good switch as well, because they were losing some of those A rounds. Even if they were clutches and they were really close rounds, it's a good job that they managed to change their calling just a bit. This time they're checking out the other side of the map a bit more. They might be not really aggressive at all in this round, in fact. 3 on A, 3 on B, 2 on A. And they're just going to have to wait to see what's happening. That's an interesting smoke for Monster. I like that.
I like that very much. Crowd can feel it coming. As Na'Vi closes in towards this A bomb site, 3 defenders here. I think if MiBR wants to win this round, they're going to have to cheat. They're going to have to go for some kind of a gamble, and it might be too late now to the execution. We'll see how this smoke does. It could slow them down. Tarek with a peek. Electronic takes him out immediately. No chance for that. Look at the one-way. Zeus spams it, but Fur doesn't blink. He doesn't bat an eye.
He's just ready and waiting. He wants more than the single one. He's going to be pushing out the flashbangs in his eyes, still falling, getting a kill, and he's just waiting for it. For only 20 seconds, he wants to play for time here. Going to finally tap it away, and the bomb does not get planted. He needed a couple of more seconds there. Stewie dropping one more, 10 seconds left, and it's a one-on-one. Gold is going to go, oh my God, taking him down. Instant headshot with that Deagle. That is stone cold, isn't it?
Fur is unbelievable. The trigger discipline in that scenario, unflinching being spammed at. He's able to delay the plant. That does everything, and it's hectic. They finally get the numbers over, and this is what I mean, a different style against pistols. Look at how much more risky and mobility you could be coming through the smoke, and it's coldzera, ends Flamey. Immediately, 5-6, and the half buy works out. They've got plenty of money now. The double op set up, all the utility. We'll see if they can build upon that.
Surely that's the kind of clutch that will rally a whole team. They even only went for the half buy in that. Now they've got much more money to work with. 5-6. That's a massive risk out of MiBR to do, but it pays off, and we'll see if they're going to be able to bring it all the way home now. If they can win the rest of this half, 9-6 definitely be a good scoreline for them. I'll be very paranoid about this push, and for good reasons. They are right on the other side. The flashbang setup, they called it, and Simple with the double to open it up. It's absolutely beautiful. Now Fallen going to be peeking in, and he does get the kill. He had one chance there, going to smoke off and behind him, and he's kind of stuck. There's no one there to help him out.
Yeah, he's in a really tough spot. And if anyone's going to get out of it, it would be Fallen or be able to make some magic from this position. But at the moment, with this low of HP, all they can really do is the unexpected, which is push forward. There's no real defense into the A bomb site, but it's no guarantee that Navi's going to be able to figure this out. How bold does Zeus want to be? If he starts to move forward and realizes there's no one there, he's going to call this bomb back. But at the moment, it's poised to take the B bomb site.
Fallen is not really in a position to catch the bomb right now. He's down the ladder and not up. But Simple's the one with the bomb all the way on the other side. This is very hard to see how this round is going to play out. There's only 30 seconds as well, so if Cold can hold this angle with the AWP, are they going to have to run back, or will they keep committing to it? He's double zoomed here, and that's a very bad thing for him. Electronic creeping up just outside of the range of the scope, and he's going to take him down. My God, that's a hard way to get outplayed. Stewie missing the first opportunity there, and the smoke is going to block him out of that. The grenade won't kill anybody either. So there will be a bomb plant here. Stewie just jumping for it, and they're going to catch him. 6 seconds left here. Maybe he could have delayed it enough. I mean, it's worth the chance. And Fallen is going to fall all the way back. That's 7 rounds now on the board here for Navi. Very slow, very scary round. A triple for Simple, by the way. He's got 12 overall. He's having a good game already. Him and Electronic, one of the deadliest duos in the game right now. Maybe the deadliest.
Yeah, we knew Simple was going to have a good game. He's been doing it all event long, all year long, really. A 7th for Navi now, and the rebuttal onto this money of MiBR, again, it's just going to be a disaster. 4 players will not be able to buy moving forward. Fallen will be able to drop a weapon, but I don't think he will if he can't save this op. So these battles at the end are crucial. They've got him boxed in, and all the timing's not with him. Easy one for Edward to find in the end. Felt like MiBR had been setting that play up for quite some time in this half with the different ways they've Molotov and naded towards that choke point. They wanted to kind of set up a double aggression there, and Navi just handles it perfectly, and that pretty much ended the round immediately.
Yeah, really, really well done. Calling the early aggression is a good job. They had the chance to save the AWP there, Moses, and they didn't. On the Navi side, they could have picked it up if they wanted it, but going to stick to the AAKs.
We see, I mean, it's one of the benefits of having Simple on your team, who's just a beast with every single weapon. You don't have to have him with an AWP. He's perfectly fine to take over the game with the AK-47, as we're kind of see him doing now. 12-7 for him, Electronic at 14-8. That pairing has just been a disaster, a bane of every other team that's played against them. So MiBR down 2 rounds as this tactical timeout comes to an end. Another chance, a second chance for them to talk things through and try and get back on track. And you do have a full buy, otherwise it would have been a complete double save for the MiBR side. Stewie with the AWP, and we saw this when he was in Cloud9. He is a playmaker with the AWP. He will get aggressive. He will go hunt down those first kills. He wants to be aggressive with it. We'll see what he can find here. Smoke gonna peer around the edge. No one in underpass though, so he bails out, doesn't want to commit to this. We saw how tough it was for Fallen to get out of that position.
Almost stuck around long enough to make that happen. Back in the hands of Fallen. I think they just wanted to see. It was just a trick that Stewie had, and they almost catch Fallen as well. A little bit scary. Want that AWP to have the first kill, especially considering how little they have for this 13th round. This could be an incredible sweep in the first half. If Navi can win this one, then
they might get up towards 10.
Yeah.
And that'd be difficult to come back from. Now, they did at least leg Simple, so they had the chance to find that opening kill. Instead, they'll have to go with low HP. But the tough part now is you don't have a whole lot of utility if you're MiBR, and you don't have a whole lot of knowledge. You've had to go passive, so it is kind of going to be a blind stack for the moment. And at this very second, it's the wrong bomb site. So Stewie's going to have to be a bit proactive and try and find something. Going to have to see bodies without going down to be able to call the rest of his team over to the right bomb site.
And Simple. Careful to not... As soon as you jump in your airborne, if the orb is on the other side, that's when you get caught. So they tried to minimize that risk by boosting up there. It's a tiny detail, but definitely interesting to see how careful they're being, NaVi, and not giving anything back to MiBR.
With how cautious they're being, the other side of that coin is they're being slow as well, and that's pulling the rest of MiBR here. They're going to have 3 players at the moment. Fallen's running as fast as he can. There goes Stewie, spam through the smoke. He might have been seen first. NaVi still not through the smoke, still not attacking this bomb site, and Fallen has now arrived.
That AWP is just going to get the 1 kill. Excellent return. Simple with one of them. Hiding inside of the smoke is Tarek, and he tries to charge it, but it's not going to work out. Cold will go down as well. A beautiful round. A team ace here out of NaVi. Very careful, very precise, not to give anything away to MiBR.
So dangerous, though. You saw that kill at the end. That could have stopped the bomb from being planted, and that could have been a round win. coldzera would have just had to run away and survive, and that's on a knife's edge. So the desperate buy from MiBR doesn't pan out. They're down by 3 now, and NaVi have just such a massive advantage, not only in the map because of this, but in the sense that MiBR can't even purchase anything until the next round. They have to at least fight for a 6th. So the offense of this Brazilian and North American mix is going to be tested in a big way in that second half.
Now this is NaVi's map pick. Dust 2 brought in by MiBR, which caught a lot of people off guard. And so far, it looks like NaVi did not make a mistake in picking this map. 8 rounds on T side of Overpass is absolutely great. Flashbang set up, and there's USPs on the other side. They just got almost no chance. A great return here, at least getting the 1, but they can't even pick up the rifle that they dropped. And it'll be round number 9 on the board now for NaVi, going into the 15th round, the last of the half here. See if MiBR could get 1 more round. It does make a huge difference. If they can get that and win the pistol on the second half, then we're building again.
Yeah, anything you can claw out at the end of this half. MiBR's had some chances, but NaVi's just always kept them in such a weird money scenario. Those resets have been quick to come in when NaVi wins a round. 1 more chance from MiBR to give themselves as much space as possible. Flamey has an op. Wondering if he goes and takes a shot and then comes back and exchanges the weapon away. A lot towards this B bomb site. 4 players here already, and that makes you feel like NaVi's going to commit to this right off the bat. Look at Simple, how aggressively he wants to challenge. He's here so quick, spamming away. A little bit of attention, trying to pull some utility out of the MiBR side, trying to take anything away for when the hit eventually comes in. Less counter nades for MiBR makes it much, much easier for NaVi, but I don't think he pulls too much. MiBR stayed disciplined.
He's controlling that whole area on his own right now. No boosts, no retaking through the L-bend or anything like that. They're a little bit worried still, MiBR. Nobody wants to be the first to make a mistake in this round. It's so much on the line. Smoke goes towards the sniper spot up there. Still, it's a pretty good stack on this bomb side. I feel like Stewie may be a little bit alone. He does have smoke, which is important if you're playing the barrels. You don't want to get Molotoved and run down. See if NaVi instead are going to maybe... Oh, actually...
Yeah, this is what he was holding the monster push from the CT side with an AWP that whole time, just so Electronic and Simple could be worry-free as they cleared short sewers. Look at this re-aggression, though. MiBR pull a 3rd player back towards this A bomb site. Now they want to be aggressive and find the information, but no one's fighting with Fallen. He's all alone. Fur got into cover, and now Tarek's in trouble. Fur can catch Edward off guard if he chases, but if Edward just holds the angle, Fur hasn't done anything just yet. He needs this kill. He needs the follow-up. It's just a 2-man attack here from NaVi. The rest of it coming at the B bomb site. That was huge. That was massive to keep MiBR in this round.
Stewie down at the B bomb site. Fur did his job on the other side. You could see him taking the nerve to take that second fight against Zeus, and it worked out. 3-on-3 with 10 seconds left. Stewie, can he stop the bomb? Can he save the team right now? Electronic down on the ramp. The bomb being planted on the other side. There's Stewie, the 1 almost flicks over and gets the kill. And now coldzera. He's got some backup here. Fur in from the A bomb site. 2-on-2. And everything on the line for this one. MiBR far behind in this game right now. They desperately need it. That smoke is going to fade now. They don't even have a kit picked up. It's going to be a very long battle to try and defuse this bomb. And good flashbang set up to try and get it. Electronic not quick enough to click it, but Flamey, the first bullet accuracy is so good, and now Cold is in deep trouble. And he knows it as well. He can't really force them out. He's going to tap it once, an incredible headshot. But Flamey's still out there, and the bomb, it's just so far ticked already. He gets the kill, but there isn't enough time. 10-5 in favor of NaVi. An incredible first half here.
Zeus and Edward do just enough at that A bomb site to bring the defenders of MiBR back towards A. That was a very well simulated hit. Berg gets those kills, and that was about the only hope you could have, but they just came too late. 7 of the last 8 rounds go to NaVi. What a run that is.
It's a very, very good job. I mean, they were struggling a little bit. They lost 4 in a row, and it just looked great. And MiBR actually, you know, had to take some risks to even go on that run. So they look well drilled on this Overpass map. It could be very hard for MiBR to get back into this game after all.
31 kills between Electronic and Simple. That is a big-time performance from the top 2 players. It's Fer, coldzera, and Fallen, both in double digits for the MiBR side, but those 3 players are equaling the frag total of Simple and Electronic at 31.
Yes, indeed. And now we're going to go into the second half. London, are you still with us? There we go. Second half coming up here. The first semi-final of the FACEIT London Major, MiBR and NaVi. And we'll see, NaVi, can they follow this through? If they win this pistol round, it is going to be almost impossible for MiBR to bring it back. But if not, we may still have a game in our hands. Let's just see. Edward, very exposed. If that door opened and they exploded out of it, he probably would have got caught in that moment. But he's going to be safe right now.
He had no help. He was doing that all on his lonesome. Coming up the stairs is the majority of this MiBR side. Fer's going to turn the corner. Simple waiting, and he's close enough to hear footsteps. To hear Smuyas. As Edward's still glancing towards door. Oh, look at Simple, he's hunting down information. He gets a pop flash just to move forward a little bit. So he's starting to know what's coming, or more importantly, what's not coming. They're on the rotation back to the B bomb site. MiBR, and so is NaVi. This is going to be one hell of a gunfight.
Yeah, they're literally all showing up at the bomb site, aren't they? The battle commences right now. The flash to set it up. Electronic getting the one. Edward picking up another headshot. It's a great start here for the CT side. Flamey's going to get run down. And the bomb plant happening pretty early on in the fight. Electronic, one more bullet is going to do it. Taking down Tariq is not bad at all. And Cold alone with just a Glock. He's going to pick up one. They practically double up for him here. Don't want to be doing that. They're going to chase him down with the knives are out. And Seuss will get it. Oh, man.
Listen, if that doesn't piss you off when you're MiBR, I don't know what will. Coming in for a knife in the semifinals of a major.
Didn't someone try to knife coldzera once on cobblestone and bad things happened?
Yes, very bad. There was mouse sports that tried to do that. And yeah, listen, that woke the beast. We'll see if it does here, because MiBR needs something. They had that clutch from coldzera in the first half with that deagle, and I think that was the last round they won in that half. So that kind of a clutch didn't get anyone hyped up. MiBR is going to need something here. And they're going to go for a buy in this second round. Remember, it still holds true for NaVi. 100% win rate in these second rounds after they win the pistol. But Stewie's got an AK-47 to work with.
Right now, NaVi, they don't have much of an incentive to be very aggressive. I mean, there's a little bit from Edward down there with the MP9, but if they stay on the bomb sites, those MP9s, 3 of them in play right now on the NaVi side, close range, they can chew up a lot of players coming in. Even with armor, it's still a pretty good weapon, and you could be so mobile with it as well. Hard to fight against. That one AK on Stewie, though. Let's see if it's going to make the difference that they're hoping for. They do have enough smokes for a good execute. This can work.
I think they're going to, it almost feels like they're just going to march up as close as possible before hitting it. And yeah, now it's just an explosion. Simple's coming and wrapping around behind those. Someone's got to watch it, but to have the manpower to do that, you have to take care of Electronic. Stewie's led the way, but he wants to bait a pistol. Here it is, Electronic going hunting. He's going to find one, and that's a big kill. Stewie swings into it, and Simple, he's going to stop this round no matter what happens. He's going to shut it all down. Tarek doesn't get back here in time to stop that. The defuse is on, and there's just no chance. And this is the difference. This defense we've seen in these first 2 rounds of this half, Simple has been so aggressive. This time he's pushing up long, coming in through bathrooms, pissed around. He's pop flashed towards top stairs. He's finding all the intel for NaVi to be in the perfect position.
I mean, between Electronic and Simple, how does somebody make it through this? It's smart play as well from Electronic here. He just isolates the guy towards restrooms to get the bomb planter. It's really a good way to sort of recognize the map and just make sure that he can get that kill completely safely. 21 kills on Electronic, 18 on Simple. I don't know how you shut this down. And right now, MiBR don't know either.
Well, they better figure it out. They're going to have basically one buy in this half to try and ignite some competition, because NaVi just running away with it at this point. Now they're getting confident. Now they're getting aggressive. Fer gets one. He's traded off immediately. But all this pressure on MiBR is funneling them towards the B bomb site, where Flamey's got a long angle, Edward's going to be here as well, and even Zeus has control of the underpass. So nowhere to go for MiBR that's going to make things easy.
Absolutely not. They love a fight. Somebody to peek them and to get that one deagle headshot in. Coming down the ladder definitely is going to be tricky with Zeus holding it with the AK-47. He's actually going up. He might be gifting them quite a bit. There's Stewie with the instant headshot. They'll take that any day of the week.
That's very weird. I mean, okay, Simple is going to peek, sees nothing. He's the only one that's getting any information or any knowledge of the A bomb site. No one's there. No one's in bathrooms. No one's out towards long. All they kind of had was that push from Zeus and kind of Simple, listening for something in the staircase that's going to give any indication. Now, thankfully, NaVi have the players still over towards the B bomb site because that's where this hit is going to come in, but it's much more dangerous than they'd like.
Absolutely. Molotov there on Stewie picked up. Simple jumping right down into the tunnel. He's going to win that fight, but that could have been scary. It could have been 3 people instead of 1 down there. And just running into the fight. He has no care in the world. Going to pick up the kill and just keeps on going. 2 on 2 now. 16 seconds on the clock. And the bomb will go down. Going to be peeking up in towards heaven. Almost could have got taken down from Edward. He's in a very uncomfortable position down in that bomb site. Oh, God. He still lands the headshot fallen. That's a perfect shot with a pistol. And now Edward up here. He wants to get a peek at the same time, and he wins it anyway. Incredible transfer there. Edward doing a good job. And they're going to be getting that defuse in, no problem. Actually, is he looking for a bit more? Yeah, wants the AK instead.
We saw Yanko clapping there after his team loses the 2-on-1, and you might be wondering why he seems to be celebrating the loss. And it's that they played it the right way, and that's all you can ask for. A double peek, Fallen swings out, he was locked in. You put coldzera, one of the best players in the world for 2 years running, especially, in a position to get that trade kill, and he probably gets that 19 out of 20 times. This just happens to be the one where he misses it. But this is the smart play, and Edward just handles it so well. Good transfer over. They were probably trying to find a timing where he's either jumping up onto that railing or falling in towards water, but either way, they've taken as much money out of the pockets of NaVi as they possibly can, and this is where MiBR really has to get going. This is the last chance they have to stay into this map.
Absolutely. Scoreline tells it all. 13-5 right now. The rush is on. MiBR very quick, and they line up for Electronic. Aggressive behind the smoke. Simple takes a shot, and he's not even falling back. He's just sticking around. They hard called that push. They saw it coming. They had the setup for it, and they shut it down. This is an incredibly powerful performance out of NaVi. Nothing like the wobbly team that we were seeing earlier in the tournament. They're focused right now.
Nothing like the one Fallen might have seen in that interview. They are playing this so well. Oh, nice shot from Fallen out duels Flamey. Flamey actually shot first, but less accurate. Now Simple and Zeus aggressive towards long, and even Edward is really shrinking the map, and he might be able to find one, maybe even both free kills, but he's happy with the information. He's just going to back away. And why not? You pass it on to Simple, who's now all on his lonesome. He gets to make a choice on how to play this. They're going to have no idea he's here. coldzera walks right into the barrel, and it's Fallen now to challenge, and he's going to find that one, but he's not ready. Jumping around the corner, trying to gain a lot of ground, and Zeus is ready for it. 14-5. I think map 1 might be all wrapped up.
Yeah, they're doing an incredible job, and I mean, some of the mistakes we've seen out of NaVi in the past where, they gave a little bit away. There was that one round where Zeus climbed up the ladder. I think that's the closest we've got. And usually there's more than just a single round. So seeing them at this level, it could be really interesting. I mean,
even the mistakes just seem to be passing more data, more information on to Electronic and Simple to just be able to use it, just to be able to dominate this game, and that's the scary part.
It's great to watch. 20th round here. And NaVi with all of the cards in their hand right now. They're doing it all right. Taking up a bit of a position. Instead, in case it was a rush through Monster Tunnel, he would have been ready. Instead, it's coming through the other side. Flamey still going to be able to get one good kill. There's a good return, though. Edward nearly going down. That would have given them everything they needed. Stewie picking up that one, 2-on-2, but he can't escape. Zeus able to land the headshot, and that will leave it all on firm. He sees the feet, and he knows he's boxed in by now. He's got so much time for it, but he's not checking the angle, and he's going to go down. Good triple for Zeus. Getting a bit on his side, 15-5, 1 round away here from picking up map number 1 of the semifinals. We could be in a world, Moses. We don't know about the other one yet, and we obviously have different opinions, but There is a scenario in which we get number 1 and number 2 in the world in the grand finals.
That would be amazing. That would be an incredible, incredible thing, especially considering NaVi, one of the first teams to really exploit some weaknesses in Astralis if they were to meet in the grand finals here. That would be a nice little matchup to have indeed. The op on Fallen again, and NaVi, I mean, the tough part is even when the kills come out, NaVi's making all the right decisions on their rotations. Some damage taken from MiBR running through the flames, running through a Molotov, didn't want to waste a smoke to put it out. Electronic and Simple again aggressive here. They're looking to put a stop to this round before it even begins. Electronic hoping for the timing, but he's just going to fall away with Simple. Molotov to cover the retreat.
As they're falling back, they almost got caught by Fur. He was actually running through that, so, or at least right on the edge, so maybe could have caught them. Scary when you run with your back turned at that moment. 21st round. Last chance here for MiBR to have an impact on Overpass. Again, the map pick of NaVi, and we're seeing why right now. Great headshot on Fur. Electronic giving a little bit away. Simple losing his partner in crime over here and maybe feeling a bit lonesome.
I think Simple wanted to peek with him at some point, but there's no chance to set any kind of play up like that as soon as if your head gets taken off immediately. Simple now is going to have to be a little bit more aggressive, which I'm sure he's fine with. Taking a deeper off angle. Fur's the only one here, though, so no ability to trade this kill. If Simple wins that fight, it's a huge part of the map that stays in NaVi's control that might just kind of stop any hit onto this A bomb site. Very hard to get in safely when you don't control long. It's even allowing Zeus to rotate over towards the B bomb site. Here comes the hit. Simple going to be under pressure. He's starting to fall back. When does he turn around? Oh, it's the perfect timing for Fur. It's going to be a free kill. He taps away, and MiBR is into the bomb site.
And they're going to run away on the other side. They already know it. That's a very, very patient play out of Fur. Like, he got that kill really early on. How long did he wait out there? Like 30 seconds-ish before he went and peeked, and it was just a good job. So, 6 rounds on the board, and I mean, the comeback is going to be very, very tricky.
Tricky's a good way to put it. Not likely is another way.
Yeah, you need to do it just right, Moses. No mistakes. maybe get the calculation perfectly.
9 more perfect rounds. That's simple.
But even if they get close, even if they just start to build into it, right? Actually, one of the things that we haven't, I feel like some of the early MiBR rounds, once they picked up Stewie and Tarek, and it wasn't even just that they weren't looking good, is that they weren't even getting like enough kills on the board. I don't think that's true for this game, even if they're so far behind, right? The whole team is kind of there. They're kind of doing a good job. Just did not look like they were ready to play Overpass yet. Thank God.
That was nice. That was very, very good. Yeah, 2 kills from Fur ends that round. 15-6. NaVi buying up what they can, slowly running out of cash. They still have an AWP. They have 3 M4s and an SMG.
It's a real luxury that NaVi have right now. They can play this one default for 5 rounds in a row. They're going to be rushing right into the
4 players
bomb
defending
site.
here, Anders.
What a call coming through the monster tunnel into the whole NaVi lineup. Tarek is going to take down one. Simple with the instant return. They have been called right now. They're all here and they're all rotating in. Stewie's out of it, and it doesn't look like they're going to make the breakthrough happen. Fallen going to take one in return, but Simple, he sees the shoulder, and that's all he needs. A 2-on-2 now. MiBR trying to hold on to this first map, and they tried to just have a power play into the bomb site. Now they're going to call it off, and I'm almost shocked that they make it out of the bomb site again alive. That's the bomb. Tarek straggling just a little bit behind, but he's going to make it through, and Cold Zero has actually got a good position here. Oh, God.
He's actually beat Simple with a punch. Oh! Takes him out of the sky. And that should be it. Electronic has an AK-47. He's still kind of calling the bluff, and it looks like he might want to go for this, but yeah, Simple got the information of Tarek running, but Cold Zero was 20 steps ahead of him and able to kind of cover and enter into that bomb site. Simple wasn't expecting it whatsoever, wanted the information, but not the fight. I don't know if Electronic's going to go for this. He might just be looking to save that AWP right before the bomb explodes.
In terms of economy, that would be the wise move. I was almost thinking that he would. I mean, he's been playing a great game right now, so he must be feeling fairly fired up. 7 rounds on the board for MiBR. It is a difference. And I'm shocked that they didn't lose that round, rushing into a 4-man stack.
It's great trades coming in the whole way, and even still you could see how close it got. I mean, MiBR just was not ready for that many players there, and it's obviously bold to call that kind of a rush in this scenario, but you're also calling it, unfortunately, in a moment when NaVi is running a stack along that wall, which added that extra player. Also, I mean, it might be part of it. Navi's been aggressive, remember, towards Fountain, towards Stairs, and they might be saying, you know, they've seen that aggression a number of times. There's not really a great chance they're going to want to call something fast towards the A bomb site because they're going to have to be cautious of the fact that we've been there a number of times.
Maybe some of the Brazilian fans here starting to rally behind their team a bit more, starting to see that there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. 23rd round, that one AWP on Simple, do not underestimate it. Again, he is a madman when it comes to this particular gun. A lot of, triple grenade right to the face of Zeus, who was jumping for that peak. Beautiful stuff.
Every advantage counts, and MiBR found themselves one here, and there goes Simple. That's the danger weapon, although Edward picks it up. Obviously a much different caliber of AWPer than Simple is. Double mollies in the staircase just to ensure themselves they're going to have an easy time getting up. No pressure, no defense. There's the jump, and oh boy, Edward pins him to the wall. And now I think they kind of realize, Navi, what's coming. So they've actually put themselves in position at this A-bomb site. This might be a little bit dicey for MiBR. One more pick with that op from Edward, or some trouble clearing out this CZ from Electronic, and there could be an issue.
That's a good entry for Stewie. Easy to go down to that CZ 75, such a powerful pistol. Oh, Edward getting that kill on Stewie, extinguishing the flames, but now they've been blocked off. They're going to boost on top. He does see somebody, but that SWAT truck is very hard to shoot through indeed. Flamey looking for it with the Deagle and picking it up against Fur. Now 30 seconds and the bomb has gone down, but it's a 2-on-2 and MiBR. Out of all the ways you could lose the map, this would be a horrendous way of going. Edward, very mobile with the AWP. He's got no fear right now. He just knows that it's 1 in 100 that they're going to win it, so might as well just try and go for it. No scoping around the corner, and they don't have a kit right now. He's going to tap it a single time. And they're not biting just yet. Waiting on the other 10-second defuse as well. There's Tarek. Good attempt from Edward, but I think that was his last chance, and he's going to fall back. Round number 8 on the board for MiBR. Slowly creeping back into the game.
It's so fine if Tarek dies here. He's trying to take the op away, making sure they invest in it. It's the only way MiBR is going to get back into this. If they can maintain economic control, they have the money to sacrifice an AK-47. Make Navi invest in the op if they want it, and they can't do it this round. They don't have enough cash, and there's that nade stack. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And Fallen expecting that peak, expecting something aggressive from Simple to keep them in the round. And even Edward showing off some skills. But still, again, it's a situation where if you're MiBR, you just have to feel Navi's been one step ahead of you this whole map. And even though they didn't have the weapons to fight with in the previous round, that's got to be worrying that they're able to rotate into position perfectly.
They called it very well. And it is a bit unnerving when every single round is a struggle all the time. You have to fight, even when you're up against pistols. Long range here. Simple does not connect with the Deagle flick, and he doesn't want to stick around for it. Going to be falling back instead. 3 men on the B bomb site, and slightly forward position for Electronic, playing up by the restrooms. So this is all pretty standard out of Navi right now. Maybe a boost into connector. Could definitely catch someone. Last time it was the jumping AWP shot. Now we'll see if Stewie's going to be careful and check it. Not yet. That's an easy kill for Edward. Good setup, good little trick.
All right, so MiBR now a man down. They have to fight against these pistols. Fur out towards long. Tarek looking for a push. We spotted the legs. He can equalize, and he is going to do it. Controls the spray at range. Doesn't want any more pressure coming his way, so Edward traded off. Back into a 4-on-4 we go. Fur's getting very close to long A, and Electronic is still halfway up bathrooms. Pop flash to find some information. Electronic peeks with it, and there's the knowledge. There's the kill from Fallen, and there's the kill from Fur. They've taken it all away. MiBR is going to get to 9, so really starting to build into this game. It feels like it might be too late still, but this is a pretty impressive run from an MiBR team that seemed out of it.
Oh, absolutely. 5 rounds in the first half, nowhere near good enough. And on this T side, though, looking a bit better. Zeus playing around here with a 5.7. Really, really good pistol. Fur is going to take him down anyway with double kill on his own. 17 overall on him. And Fallen with 18, so those two are firing really well at the moment. And Flamey's stolen that AK-47, so he's going to be happy about that. 9 rounds to 15. It's still a long way. It's one mistake from losing the map.
But
all
now,
the time.
Now you at least have some hope. Now if you're an MiBR fan, you're starting to feel good and you can at least see the light at the end of the tunnel. Question becomes, can they make it all the way? Still going to be so difficult, and another big challenge right here. I imagine we're going to see the double ops come from NaVi. They have all the cash in the world as this losing bonus has built up. It's not full force. These past 4 rounds that MiBR have won, there's been a couple that NaVi have tried to save, but it's been 4 bomb plants and 4 bomb explosions, so they're finding ways into the bomb site now. Timeout called from NaVi so they can take a breath.
Deep breath. They have pretty much secured this first map. They've pretty much won it. But you've got to go all the way. And if you end up in overtime, the game changes in such a dramatic way. It's ridiculous what happens when you get there. And you also just don't want to give MiBR a chance to warm up, to wake up, to start to really make it work here on this map.
We had the comeback, and it was in the Legend stage that was 4-15, and a comeback occurred. This would be the biggest one, I think, of the group stage, perhaps 5-15 in the semifinals, certainly in terms of the impact and the situation and the context around it. We'll see if MiBR can complete that run. Fallen's going to have the op still.
Still a little bit away, but we'll give them the runway. Simple. Not going to be charging forward, just sticking them behind a little bit. Electronic going to go down in connector. A lot of early Molotovs put out there from the CT side. Again, they're going to try and triple grenade it. Edward, well, nobody else is getting tagged from that either. Zeus is going to jump after the fact. He feels safe. Not expecting that there would be a double nade after it. I mean, that'd just be bad-mannered, wouldn't it?
That'd be a bit too much.
We'll leave that kind of stuff to Astralis, won't we?
They're the ones who can handle it. Well, Tarek still watching for a B push, far, far back, away from any danger. Slowly but surely, MiBR adjusting. They're running right into the op from Simple. It's going to be a pop flash. Looks like Fallen wants to peek this, and so many angles that he's got to worry about. Simple now just hoping someone walks down those stairs. These angles are all known to MiBR, though, and you can see the X-ray. Not visible to the players, but everyone from MiBR avoiding that entirely, and that's Stewie to find a kill. That might be through the smoke. That's in the staircase, and Simple might want to back away now. He's got no support whatsoever at the A side. Zeus is starting to rotate over. Calls it off, but all alone is this best player in the world hunting for 1 kill before he falls back, and he's not going to get it. Fallen outplays him. A 5-on-3, and Edward, Flamey, and Zeus, if they're not going to rotate over and hustle to the A bomb site, they may just want to think about saving this.
Yeah, I think they already are. I think they've given it up already. They're not even going to try. Fallen has been winning a lot of those fights, just edging into the scope, and somehow he's a bit quicker.
We talked about we knew the primary goal of Janko's as he joined to coach was to get Fallen back on track. He said we need the old Fallen back. Stewie said in an interview they need Fallen to be at that previous level to be able to build around that. He's always been the foundational piece for this MiBR team, and we've seen glimpses of it in this event. It's nowhere near his previous peak, but it's starting to come back slowly but surely, and you can see what kind of advantages it provides when he's playing well.
Absolutely. A lot of teams right now in the top of Counter-Strike that definitely don't want Fallen back at that level. Never mind Cold Zero. I mean, if those two start to put it together, if they can find the spark again here at the major, that'll be something else. Good save from Edward. These rifles, like once you make the call to save, especially doing it early on in the round, you don't want to lose your rifles in the last couple of seconds. That's really annoying.
Navi's generally very good at that. So are the Danish teams. Oh, great shot from Flamey. They want more. That's really expensive. MiBR, it's not like they're rolling in cash, but they know how valuable those guns are. They know as well, remember, that one AK-47 that Flamey saved, that allowed Simple to have an AWP, and Simple still got the money for it. Because they didn't have to buy that 5th weapon, Simple can still pick up an op on his own. So a very strong buy with those 3 weapons saved. That is smart economic play from Navi down the stretch. I mentioned the only way this comeback happened is if MiBR can control the money in this game, and Navi with that decision takes a little bit of that control away.
They know it all the time, Navi. They can feel it right on the edge. They just need that one mistake to exploit that one opening kill. Anything going in their direction right here, and the map is theirs, and they can finally breathe a sigh of relief. And somehow they're being denied. More grenade setups, this time for the barrels, and nobody was there. Still a good idea to try and do it. And the spam through the wall, not going to connect with anyone either just yet. This 3-man stack here is not bad at all for the Navi side. The bomb is not committed to anything yet.
How aggressive does Stewie want to be here? He looks like he's poised and ready for a peek, ready for a pop flash in some way. Going to ignore the sandbags. Clear out the staircase. Fallen and Fur back towards A. That's the bomb on Fallen, though, and he's actually taking a pretty big risk, just leisurely walking through. And yeah, he's been cautious of all these angles, but if he gets taken out, that bomb's in an awkward spot. 50 seconds, and Simple gives up the angle right before Fur swings.
Wow.
He's been great, Fur, in this position. He's been so patient, playing it solo. Electronic might be lured into a peak here.
Yeah, he lost this fight last time, Electronic, and actually Fur, I think, picked up the kill on Simple as well. Who's going to win it this time? Simple, preoccupied on the other side. He's going to pick up Tarek. Electronic goes for the fight. Fur just edging back in, and Electronic going to win. That might be enough. 3 on 5. NaVi, they might finally have found a way to close this map out. Cold Zero, one big kill, following it up and taking down Electronic somehow. They're back in the round, and now it's a 3 on 3. Surely they should have lost this round already. 3 versus 5. And they're back into it. Cold holding the angle. Flamey with the instant headshot. It's a beautiful kill. And Stewie, he can't connect now. It's all on Fallen. He's kept them alive for a long time. The defuse is on the other side. He can't do it. 16-10 as NaVi take down MiBR on Overpass for the first map of the semi-finals. It's going to leave Dust 2 coming up. That was a very, very hard-fought battle for MiBR to try and get back into it. But NaVi were looking great.
It's that second buy round that NaVi had due to the saving decisions that they made. Now, if you're MiBR, the one thing you're going to focus on between these maps is we got beat up and we got battered in the first half, but we were still fighting. We still came back into this, and hopefully that gives you a little bit of an energy because that's a risky pick coming up of Dust 2. We're going to head to a break. We're going to talk to the desk, and then we're going to get Dust 2 underway, so stay tuned.